Hello, my wonderful Coldplay fam, my ARMY audience, and just for you, Mal, Cold believers. We have some very important news to discuss today regarding some updates on Coldplay's newest single yet to be released. But before we get started, Coldplay is going to be releasing an album in just over a month. So if you want all the juicy updates regarding everything Coldplay related, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton, and you get informed with everything Coldplay. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that I wanted to mention today is some updates regarding the Kelly Clarkson Show. So if you watched the last video, we talked about how Chris is going to be on the Kelly Clarkson Show very soon, and some rumors around that. It was reported by some of the audience members that Chris performed the unreleased single My Universe on the set of the show. And recently we got some more photos that give a little bit more detail. And as of now, according to Coldplay on Twitter, the time that the show is going to be released is still to be determined. And we're gonna come back to that because I have some more information regarding that, but for right now, let's just look at these images. As you can see, Chris is seen with an acoustic guitar, which falls in line with the reports of him playing My Universe. And since we can speculate that it's just him playing the acoustic guitar, it's likely that he didn't play the full song and just a little snippet of the song. But I think the one big takeaway from this is that if he did in fact play the song on the set of Kelly Clarkson, it's likely that the song had already been released, right? Now, I'm gonna come back to the story in just a moment, but before we move on, I just wanted to say that the stage for Kelly Clarkson looks super cool. And now, to move on to something real quick before we move back into the Kelly Clarkson Show, some BTS news was brought to my attention on Twitter by the user Joytopia, so thank you very much for bringing this to my attention. This article says, catch an all-new episode of Released with BTS as they chat with Chris Martin of Coldplay about the meaning and inspiration behind the Permission to Dance challenge on YouTube Shorts. Plus, catch the world premiere of their new video Permission to Dance music video Shorts Challenge version, featuring a compilation of your YouTube Shorts submissions, released every Thursday only on YouTube. So let's break this down just a little bit. First of all, Released is a YouTube series that has a new video every Thursday and just has a wide variety of different topics and artists and influencers. And this coming Thursday, they're going to feature BTS and their Permission to Dance challenge. Now, Permission to Dance is a BTS song that was released in July of this year, and they had this challenge where they invited fans to dance along to the song in these shorts in the YouTube app. So this Released episode is going to feature a music video that was created using all those shorts from these fans. Now, the date of this episode is on September 9th, and apparently they're also going to be talking about the importance of this challenge, as well as, of course, talking with Chris Martin. Now, of course, we can all speculate why Chris would be on this episode with BTS, and there are really only two possible outcomes. One, he's there to announce the release for My Universe with BTS, or two, he's there to actually release the new song My Universe with BTS. So let's talk about both of those. If it were just the announcement, it would make sense because BTS already has this topic, the Permission to Dance music video, right? Unless it's the second option, of course, which they release the song My Universe, and the Permission to Dance music video was kind of just like a smaller thing to get people to have their eyes on BTS and Coldplay. And a strong argument for why this could happen is because the episode will air at 11:45 Eastern. And of course, a lot of music is released at 12 o'clock midnight Eastern, so it would make sense that they have the show start at 11:45 and talk about, you know, their Permission to Dance thing, bring on Chris, and by midnight, they release the new song. And since this is Thursday and it's common practice to release a new song at midnight on Friday, this is definitely a real possibility. And my initial reaction to this news is that it would just be an announcement. It seemed a little bit more fitting for the time, for the event. However, going back to what I was talking about with the Kelly Clarkson Show, that link that was provided by Coldplay, if you click on it and scroll down a little bit, see the images with Chris, we see this. Underneath these photos, we see September 13th, which leads us to believe that these photos are for the episode that airs on September 13th, right? And if this episode with Chris, who's supposed to be playing My Universe, airs on the 13th, that would mean that the song would likely be released before that. And the clock is ticking, like there's not a lot of time between now and the 13th, which means if they're going to release it before the 13th, wouldn't it make sense that they release it with BTS at this event. Now, I hate to keep on going back and forth between, yeah, they're going to do it then, no, they're not going to do it then. But I think a more realistic timeline is if on the 9th, that Thursday with BTS, Chris announces the new single, the new collab with them. Then on Kelly Clarkson Show on the 13th, Chris plays the song for them, just a very small snippet on acoustic guitar, right? It's not the full band, it's not the full song, but it's at least giving the audience something. Kind of like what they did with Higher Power on TikTok and just a few promotional videos ahead of time, they released a small snippet of the song. And then in the same week following the Kelly Clarkson Show, they release it on the 17th. And then following that, they have iHeart Music Festival, Global Citizen, a whole bunch of different performances that they are able to showcase this new single. So to me, that kind of makes a little bit more sense than to kind of just release the song out of the blue. So if you have ideas on this, if you really think they're going to release it on the 10th, comment below. If you think they're going to release it later, maybe even closer to the album, comment below too. I want to know your thoughts because this is a very interesting topic and we don't have a lot of time between now and those dates. So it's kind of interesting to see what will happen. I know the whole world is going to be watching on the 9th when BTS and Coldplay are together. So it's going to be really exciting. So we'll see, I guess. I wouldn't rule out it being released on the 10th, but just where I am right now, kind of just thinking about it logistically, it makes a little bit more sense for them to make an announcement so that people are excited about it and then release it and have all these opportunities to really showcase this new single. Also, while we're on the topic of BTS, Joytopia, coming in clutch again on YouTube this time, commented a little bit more updates about where BTS is and the possibility of Coldplay and BTS performing together. They said something that I didn't think of in the last video, and that is that in Global Citizen Live, there's going to be a whole bunch of different performances, different places in the world, right? So it would make sense that BTS performs from Korea and Coldplay performs from a different location. So that seems like a very more realistic thing, more of a possibility than them performing together, as much as we want that to happen, or at least as much as I want that to happen. However, I'm not throwing out the idea of there being holograms, right? That seems to be Coldplay's thing for their performances right now. So that would be cool. So we'll see what happens with that. It seems like there's not a lot of rumors going around as far as them being in the same place, but we'll see. I wouldn't rule out anything, but I don't think we can get our hopes up just yet, so stay tuned. And the last thing that I wanted to bring up in this video is Joytopia, and if you haven't heard about this just yet, it actually, unfortunately, has already ended. So, if you did participate in it, you know what kind of experience it was, but for anyone who hasn't, I kind of wanted to just explain it a little bit. Now, honestly, I heard about this, but I really didn't give a lot of thought into what it was and kind of like really dig into it. But after it was live, I was like, okay, let's check this thing out, right? And so basically what it was a live performance of Coldplay performing virtually. So previously we talked about Coldplay possibly performing in a game like in Fortnite, right? And it was very much that kind of style. We had these huge projections and animations of Coldplay performing a few songs. I think there were 4 songs, including Higher Power, and it was just kind of cool and very grandiose. It was very big, and you can kind of walk around with your avatar that you created, gave it your own name, your color. So it was very much like the ideas of a Fortnite show, but not in a game. It was its own separate website. I think it not being in a popular game like Fortnite kind of hindered the scale of things. With it being its own website, people had to log on to that website. You couldn't just be in your game and experience this. You had to go out of your way to go to this website to preview this show. But regardless, it was pretty cool. It was interesting to see them perform in this way. And I know they've been talking about trying to be eco-friendly, right? Having performances, but not, wasting a lot of money with all the, expensive fireworks, the travel, all that kind of stuff. So it made sense for Coldplay to look into this style of performance. Now, long ago, we were talking about this idea of them performing in a game, right? And do I think this is what they were talking about? No. And the reason why I say this is because months ago when we first had talked about this, Coldplay was in contact with an entertainment group that worked with partnerships with different gamers and entertainers. And this Joytopia event was put on by BMW, so it had nothing to do with that entertainment group, it was just a separate entity. But the one thing I wanted to take away from this is that they are open to do these kinds of shows. And I think it worked out pretty well. I don't know if you were able to experience it. If you were, leave a comment letting me know what you thought about it, but I kind of enjoyed it. It was nice to just experience that on my own time. It was open for 24 hours and just kind of live that concert experience in a different way. So I definitely think this could potentially be a new way for them to perform. Definitely not replacing live performances, but just a new way of growing fans. Maybe this was their way to test things out before they do something like Fortnite. But again, let me know what you think in the comments. And the last thing that I wanted to mention today is that I'm going to do another react video for My Universe when it finally does come out, whether that's on the 10th, the 17th, a different date, a later date, who knows. But regardless of when the song comes out, you can bet that I'll be doing a react video soon after. I've heard a lot of good comments regarding those videos, and it's something that was super new to me, so hearing those comments just really makes me feel good about them, so thank you. And just so you don't miss that video and all these other Coldplay updates, be sure to subscribe for more content just like this. It really does help me a ton just with the channel and even just getting the news out there about the Coldplay updates and the new album and just how awesome they are in general. So thank you for everyone who does like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. It really helps in a big way, even though it just takes 2 seconds of your day. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for the next one because I'm sure a lot more news is gonna come out in the next few days. This week, we'll see what happens on the 9th. Hopefully, it'll be something really good. It's gonna be something really good. We'll just see what it is exactly. But thank you again so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.